Hello students, in this video we will solve pre-board paper first term conducted by Department of Education Delhi for morning shift students. Read the instructions before starting the paper. Let us start with section A. It has got 24 questions and out of 24 you have to attempt 20. See the question number 1. Sometimes which of the following is a type of reproduction in angiosperms? In angiosperms, sexual reproduction takes place, but sometimes other types of reproduction like apomixis and polyembryony also take place in angiosperms. So here correct option is D. A and C both. Mark D as a correct answer. Question 2. Identify P, Q, R and S in the given diagram. The given diagram is of a typical anatropous ovule where P is micropyle, Q outer integument, R nucellus and S embryo sac. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 3. Which of the following statements are correct with reference to endosperm? Statement 1. Endosperm development occurs after the development of embryo. This is wrong. Endosperm development occurs before the development of embryo. Statement 2. Endosperm cells form a triploid endosperm tissue. Statement 3. The endosperm tissue is filled with reserve food material. And statement 4. Endosperm tissue is used for the nutrition of developing embryo. All these three statements are correct. Statement 2, 3 and 4 are true statements about the endosperm. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 4. The height of tallest flower of Amorphophallus is about. The flower of Amorphophallus is about 6 feet in height. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 5. The residual persistent nucellus is the option B. It is perisperm. It is the residual persistent nucellus found in the seeds of black pepper and beet. Question 6. Identify X, Y and Z respectively in the given diagram. The given diagram is of sectional view of seminiferous tubules where X are spermatozoa, Y Sertoli cells and Z spermatogonia. So here mark B as a correct answer. Question 7. Which statements are true with reference to menstrual cycle? Statement 1. The first menstruation is called menarche. Statement 2. The last menstruation is called menopause. These two statements are true about the menstrual cycle. Now come to statement 3. Menstrual cycle continues throughout the life. No, this is wrong. Menstrual cycle ceases around 50 years of age. Now come to statement 4. Menstrual cycle repeats at an average interval of 28 to 29 days. This is also correct. So here statement 1, 2 and 4 are correct about the menstrual cycle. So mark D as a correct answer. Question 8. Placenta acting as endocrine tissue produces human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG, human placental lactogen, HPL, and estrogens and progesterone. All these are produced by placenta. So, correct answer is option D. All of the above. Mark D as a correct answer. Question 9. In humans, during fertilization, a sperm comes in contact with which layer of the ovum? Sperm comes in contact with zona pellucida of the ovum. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 10. A couple has 2 daughters. What is the probability of third child to be son? There is always 50-50% chances of becoming a child to be a son or a daughter. So, the probability of third child to be son is 50%. So here mark B as a correct answer. Question 11. With reference to family planning, this is not the characteristic feature of Saheli. A. It is a steroidal oral pill. It is wrong. Saheli is a non-steroidal oral pill. It is once a week pill and it has very few side effects. So here mark A as a correct answer. The statement given in A is not characteristic feature of Saheli. So mark A as a correct answer. Question 12. If the genotype of the parent is capital R, small r, capital Y, how many types of gamete would be produced? It will produce two types of gametes as there is only one heterozygous condition in the given example. So here correct answer is option B, mark B. Question 13. In his experiments on heredity, Mendel selected how many contrasting traits of pea plant pertaining to color? He considered 3 contrasting traits pertaining to color. These were flower color, pod color and seed color. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 14. In the following hereditary experiment, which example is depicted? This given cross is an example showing incomplete dominance in dog flower or snapdragon flower, where in the F2 generation the phenotypic ratio is 1:2:1, means 1 red flower, 2 pink flower and 1 white flower is obtained. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 15. ABO blood grouping is an example of? It is an example of both multiple alleles and co-dominance, as it is controlled by 3 alleles IA, IB and small I. So it is showing the multiple allelism, and it is the example of co-dominance also, as in case of blood group AB. So here correct choice is option C, both A and B. So mark C as a correct answer. Question 16. With reference to heredity, which statement is true? Statement 1. Dominance is an autonomous feature of a gene or its product. Statement 2. Dominance is not an autonomous feature of a gene or its product. The term autonomous means independent. Dominance is not an autonomous feature of a gene. In some cases, gene expresses the phenotype irrespective of its homozygous or heterozygous condition. For example, homozygous T will produce tall and heterozygous T also produce tall. So, correct option is B. Statement 2 is true. So, mark B as a correct answer. Question 17. Sex determination in honeybees is of specific type. In your opinion, which of the following option is correct for the number of chromosomes in honeybees? Option D is correct, where male has 16 chromosomes and female 32 chromosomes. As female bees are formed as a result of fertilization and they are diploid, while males are formed from unfertilized egg and are haploid. So here mark D as a correct answer. Question 18. Mention the carbon number portion to which the nitrogenous base and phosphate molecule are respectively linked in the nucleotide given below. In the given structure of nucleotide, nitrogenous base will attach at carbon 1 and phosphate group at carbon 5. So here mark A as a correct answer. Question 19. DNA and RNA differ by? They differ in the nitrogen bases. In RNA, instead of thymine, uracil base is present, and also they differ in sugar. RNA has ribose sugar while DNA has deoxyribose sugar. So here mark A as a correct answer. Question 20. A gene of operon which forms the repressor protein is option C, regulator. It is a gene of operon which forms the repressor protein and regulate the functioning of structural genes. So, mark C as a correct answer. Question 21. DNA replication includes? It includes DNA dependent DNA polymerase and DNA ligase enzyme. So, here mark B as a correct answer. Question 22. According to Chergaff's rule, which one is correct? According to Chergaff's rule, for a double-stranded DNA, the sum of adenine and guanine is equal to sum of thymine and cytosine. So, here mark C as a correct answer. Question 23. Which enzyme is used in transcription? RNA polymerase enzyme is used in transcription. So, here correct answer is option C, mark C. Question 24. The portion of DNA which contains information for an entire polypeptide called? It is cistron, which contains information for the entire polypeptide. So, here mark A as a correct answer. Now, come to section B. It also has 24 questions and you have to attempt 20. Question number 25 to 28 are assertion reason type question. Now, see the question number 25 and see the assertion statement. If pollen mother cell has 42 chromosomes, the pollen has only 21 chromosomes. It is true. Now, see the reason. Pollens are formed after meiosis in pollen mother cell. This is also true and correct explanation of assertion. So, here mark A as a correct answer. Question 26. Assertion statement. In addition to connect the mother with fetus, placenta also acts as an endocrine tissue. This is true. Now, see the reason. It releases human gonadotropins. This is also true and correct explanation of assertion. Placenta helps in connecting fetus with mother and also acts as an endocrine tissue as it releases human gonadotropins. So, here also mark A as a correct answer. Question 27. Assertion statement. Contraceptives are method to prevent unwanted pregnancies. This is the true statement. Now, see the reason. Unwanted pregnancies can only be prevented by using oral contraceptive pills. This is the false statement. There are many other methods also to prevent unwanted pregnancies. So, here mark C as a correct answer. A is true but R is false. Question 28. Assertion statement. Hemophilia is recessive sex-linked disease. This is true. See the reason. Hemophilia occurs due to mutation in the structural gene on chromosome number 15. This is false statement. It is due to mutation in the structural gene on X chromosome. So, here also mark C as a correct answer. A is true but R is false. Question 29. How many meiotic divisions are required for getting 120 seeds of wheat? Option C. 150 meiotic divisions are required. 120 divisions for getting 120 female gametophytes and 30 divisions for getting 120 pollen grains. So, here mark C as a correct answer. Question 30. A bilobed dithecous anther has 150 microspore mother cells per microsporangium. How many male gametophytes can this anther produce? There are 4 microsporangium in an anther. So, total 600 microspore mother cells are there, which will undergo meiosis and will give 2400 male gametophyte. So, here mark C as a correct answer. Question 31. Pollen grains of many species cause severe allergies and bronchial afflictions in some people. One such plant imported with wheat is carrot grass, the pollen grains of which cause allergies. So here mark B as a correct answer. Question 32. Read the following statements and choose the incorrect statements from the given 4 statements. Statement 1. Each testis has 25 compartments called testicular lobule. This is wrong. Each testis has 250 compartments called testicular lobules. Statement 2. Each testicular lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules in which sperms are produced. This is correct. Third statement. Sertoli cells provide nutrition to germ cells and Sertoli cells are activated by FSH or follicle stimulating hormone. These 2 statements are also true. So here incorrect statement is only one. So mark A as a correct answer. Question 33. Study the given diagram. P is the embryonic stage that gets transformed into Q, which in turn gets implanted in the endometrium in human females. Identify P, Q, R and S. P is morula stage, Q is blastocyst or blastula stage, R in blastocyst are stem cells and S trophoblast. So here mark C as a correct answer. P morula, Q blastocyst, R stem cells and S trophoblasts. Question 34. Identify the correct statements regarding pregnancy in humans. Statement 1. The average duration of human pregnancy is 9.5 weeks. This is not correct statement. Average duration of human pregnancy is 40 weeks. Come to statement 2. The period of pregnancy is called gestation period. This is true. Statement 3. The birth of baby is called parturition and oxytocin acts on the uterine muscles. These 2 statements are also correct. So, statements 2, 3 and 4 are correct regarding pregnancy in humans. So, here mark B as a correct answer. Question 35. Identify and write the functions of X and Y in the given diagram. This diagram is of human female reproductive system where X is fimbriae which collects ovum and Y is ovary which produces ovum. So here mark B as a correct answer. Question 36. Given below are 4 methods of contraception A to D and their mode of action 1 to 4. Select their correct matching from the 4 options given below. Correct matching is option C. A. The pill matches with 3, prevents ovulation. B. Condom matches with 1, prevents sperm reaching cervix. C. Vasectomy matches with 4, semen contains no sperm. And D. Copper T matches with 2, prevents implantation. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 37. What is the diagram given below showing in particular? This diagram is showing tubectomy where fallopian tubes are cut or tied. So here mark D as a correct answer. Question 38. Which of the following STD is not curable completely? STD means sexually transmitted diseases. Out of 4 given STDs, AIDS is not completely curable. So mark C as a correct answer. Question 39. In which of the following methods the zygote early embryo up to 8 blastomeres is transferred into fallopian tube? In ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer, in this technique, the zygote early embryo up to 8 blastomeres is transferred into fallopian tube. So here mark B as a correct answer. Question 40. A man with blood group A marries to a woman with blood group B. Their child is detected blood group O. The genotype of this father and mother is, the genotype of father will be IA I small I and of mother IB I small I. So mark B as a correct answer. Check the solution to get the answer. 41. How many linkage groups are present in an organism whose genomic chromosome number is n is equal to 8? Number of linkage groups in an organism is equal to its haploid number of chromosomes. Therefore, here linkage groups are 8 as n is equal to 8. So, mark A as a correct answer. Question 42. Turner syndrome is XO condition. So, here mark A as a correct answer. Question 43. X-linked recessive gene is always expressed in males. So, here marked A as a correct answer. Question 44. The phenomenon of regulating several phenotypes by a single gene is called? This phenomenon is called as pleiotropism, where several phenotypes are controlled by a single gene. So, here mark D as a correct answer. Question 45. The base pair according to Watson and Crick is? According to Watson and Crick, adenine always combined with thymine, guanine always combined with cytosine. So, here mark A as a correct answer. A matches with T, G with C, T with A and C with G. Question number 46. In the transcription unit given below, R and S are, R is the promoter and S is the coding strand of transcription unit. So, here mark C as a correct answer. Question 47. With reference to genetic code, some statements are given. Read these statements. Statement 1. The codon is triplet. Statement 2. Out of total 64 codons, only 61 codons code for amino acids. Statement 3. One codon codes for only one amino acids. And statement 4. AUG acts as an initiator codon only. In this, first three statements are correct, but fourth statement is wrong. AUG has a dual function. It codes for methionine as well as it acts as an initiator codon. So, here mark A as a correct answer. Statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Question number 48. VNTR belongs to a class of satellite DNA referred to as mini satellite. So, here mark B as a correct answer. Now, come to section C. In this section, 12 questions are there and you have to attempt any 10 questions. Also, question number 49 to 54 are case-based question. Now, see the case given. Observe the following diagram and answer the questions given. Question number 49. Observe the above diagram and identify it. This diagram is showing formation of replication 4 at the time of DNA replication. So, here mark A as a correct answer. Question 50. Give the term for starting point of replication. The starting point of replication is ORI or origin of replication. So, here mark A as a correct answer. Question 51. Give the term for DNA fragments produced by discontinuous synthesis. The term used for DNA fragments produced by discontinuous synthesis is Okazaki segments. So, here mark C as a correct answer. Question 52. Give the name of enzyme which binds DNA fragments produced by discontinuous synthesis. Enzyme DNA ligase binds DNA fragments produced by discontinuous synthesis. So here mark A as a correct answer. Question 53. In which stage of cell cycle this synthesis occurs? This synthesis occurs in S stage of cell cycle. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 54. A failure in cell division after DNA replication that results. This results in polyploidy, where whole set of chromosome increase. So here mark A as a correct answer. Question 55. Discontinuous synthesis of DNA occurs on one strand because, here option B is correct. It is because DNA dependent DNA polymerase catalyze polymerization only in one direction, that is from 5' to 3' end. So here mark B as a correct answer. Question 56. In pea plants, yellow seeds are dominant over green. If heterozygous yellow seeded plant is crossed with green seeded plant, what ratio of yellow and green seeded plants would be obtained? This is a test cross where the ratio of 1:1 or 50:50 is obtained after the cross. So here mark D as a correct answer. Question 57. When a dihybrid cross is fit into a Punnett square with 16 boxes, the maximum number of different phenotypes available are. 4 types of phenotypes are obtained in dihybrid cross. So here mark B as a correct answer. Question 58. Mendel's law of independent assortment holds good for genes situated on the non-homologous chromosomes. The Mendel's law of independent assortment holds good. So here mark A as a correct answer. Question 59. In his experiments on pea plants, Mendel did not use pod length. So mark C as a correct answer. Question 60. If a colorblind man marries a woman who is homozygous for normal color vision, the probability of their son being colorblind is. In this cross, the probability of their son being colorblind is 0, as mother is homozygous for normal vision. So mark C as a correct answer. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for staying with me. Subscribe the channel to get the information about my new video. Thank you so much.